what we've been seeing in the news lately. And what I've been seeing personally is a group of men that we all have looked up to. I've looked up to, you've looked up to, and some of you may not even have been basketball fans to the point that I've been a basketball fan. I mean, I'm a fan. Like when I say I'm a fan, I'm a fanatic. I am an NBA fanatic. I am the guy that is sitting front row, almost getting thrown out, getting taken back, talked to by the security. Thank God I have a really great relationship with the security, but I am the guy that is willing to spend $100,000 plus for both of my seats, courtside every single year because I like yelling at my favorite players, right? And some of you may not necessarily be NBA fans. Some of you may be NFL fans. Some of you may have been baseball fans, some of our pastimes. Some of you may be fans of your favorite entertainers and things like that. But as I've grown older, and more importantly, as I've ascended to the top of the economic ladder, what it's afforded me is a small little peek into the minds, the thoughts, and then more importantly, the relationships that these people are having amongst themselves, with their spouses, and then more importantly, with their hoes. And I've always believed that how you spend your money and how you allocate your resources is largely where your heart is. If you want to find out where somebody really look, shout out to JT Coin Rings. I'm going to be reading Super Chat shortly. If you want to find out where a man's heart is, all you got to do is look at where he puts his resources and his time. That's a fact. That's a whole fact. If you want to understand where a man and basically where his heart lies, look at where it is that he spends his money, his time, and his resources. Often at times you can see that happen with the kids that we raise. It's the households and the environments that we build. It's our parents that we then take care of. Some of y'all are son husbands, and that's unfortunate, but that's an entirely different show. It's the lifestyle that we lead and live, and it's the way in which we protect ourselves. The resources, the money is very, very important. It's not to be taken for granted. And we have 3 different case studies tonight that we need to go over. The illustrious Zion Williamson, the youngest of the bunch. The D Wade, not quite as young, but not as old or as old looking as Paul Pierce. And Paul Pierce, right? And we have 3 different case studies, and I want to break this down because, again, I'm a fan of the NBA. I've always been a fan. One of my lifelong dreams and my grails is to be sitting courtside, having conversations. I've been able to befriend some of these people. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you see some of the posts and some of the stories that I have. And I really like to enjoy the game in addition to the networking, in addition to being able to meet some of my friends and do business there. It's an opportunity for us to really live our dreams. And that's what money affords us, right? But then when you peek on the other side of that, the other side of that curtain, you start to realize that some of your heroes ain't really your heroes. Some of them are creating an environment in which they probably should be looked at as our enemy. Let me break it down for you, for example, right? Some of my grails, this watch, I just recently purchased this a couple days ago. This is the Root Beer Rolex that I love. It's absolutely gorgeous. Hopefully you guys have been there for the unboxing at the Millionaire Morning Show. Opportunity to sit courtside, real estate, all of these things, right? Travel in the world. I'm going to Tokyo in August. But they say never meet your heroes. Luckily for us, we have social media and we have YouTube and we have these platforms in which a lot of these people are espousing and having conversations about their relationships. So let's start off with the middle child. Dwayne Wade recently went on Shannon Sharp's show, and I broke it down on the Millionaire Morning Show as far as the reaction. But let's bring it in, right? Let's bring him to the front of the congregation and let's see what we can learn from this conversation that Dwayne Wade is having with Shannon Sharp. It started not even with Gabrielle Union. It started with how it is that he presents himself to the general public as far as leading his household. Now, contrary to popular belief, I know a lot of people in this society today believe that everything is based off of a partnership. It's not. It's not. A partnership only exists when you look at a woman as your equal. We are not equal in any way, shape, or form. No two people on this earth are equal, especially in a relationship. I don't care what they taught you. I don't care what feminism is trying to indoctrinate you to believe. No two people on this earth is equal. We can value each other. It doesn't mean that we can demean each other. It doesn't mean that we take away somebody's humanity. But to say that a man and a woman is equal is asinine. Physically, we're not equal. Mentally, we're not equal. When it comes to the requirements of what it takes in order for us to really be able to sustain and thrive in a household, we should not be looked at as equal. As a matter of fact, I don't know one woman in real life that wants to be equal as a man as far as her having to provide and contribute equal when it comes to the resources that you need in order to sustain a household financially. Because in today's society, provision and protection is largely based off of money. We're not hunter-gatherers. We don't exist in an environment where we got to eat. We got to kill what we eat, right? The money then affords us the ability to be able to put our children in certain schools, to go into safer neighborhoods, the whole 9 yards, right? And so this conversation with Dwayne Wade then started way before Gabrielle Union ever picked up a microphone. It started with the idea that how he led his household and the fact that even conversations with regard to his ex-wife coming out and saying stuff, and you not even being able to control your ex-chick is a problem. And then we see how he is as a father. We see who really holds and wears the pants in his household. And so it was surprising to no one when Gabrielle Union came out on a podcast and said, oh, basically, we equal in this household. It's 50-50. It was surprising to absolutely no one because all she did was state the obvious. And even stating the obvious, that's egregious in itself. And the reason that it's egregious in itself is because it's one thing for us to assume it, and it's another thing for a woman to confirm it. So you can assume a lot of things. For a long time, people assumed that Jada Pinkett and Will Smith was out here lollygagging and having an open relationship. And for years, even for decades, that's just been the narrative. It had become such a thing that people was just like, man, that's just a rumor. Y'all can't keep assuming it. And then until we seen Jada Pinkett getting smashed by August Alsina, and then she going over there and emasculating Will Smith on Red Table Talk, which, by the way, is no longer even in existence. It's another thing to assume it, and it's a whole nother ball game when you confirm it. When a woman go out there and confirm it, it is a whole nother issue.